and things. I really enjoy working with those. I like Celtic work a lot, which is, again, intricate, detail-oriented stuff is what makes me happy.
Yeah.
I can really sink my teeth into it. But as long as it's something that's going to make the client happy, then I'm more than happy to explore it, with the exception of anything that's hate-related or self-destructive. I'm not a dark guy. I like skulls. I like demons and monsters and all that fun stuff.
Yeah.
But I don't want to help somebody just wallow in their darkness.
Gotcha.
So I usually say, well, there are lots of people who do like that stuff. They're great artists. Maybe that would be a better fit.
Gotcha.
I like the light a little bit more.
Yeah. Surround yourself with people you want to be around.
Yeah.
Surround people with like mindsets, and nothing worse than having hours and talking.
Well, sure. That's the whole point. I mean, you don't want to, one thing I've learned is you can have a wonderful, beautiful tattoo that if you didn't like the person who did it, it won't be a good experience and you won't treasure that.
Yeah.
Whereas you can have, I've met lots of people who have had, in my mind, mediocre work, but they're like, the guy, he was so cool, and I really just enjoyed the process, and I will always treasure that experience, and this is just a reminder of that.
Yeah.
So, and that's what tattooing is about. More, because we all get old, and everybody's like worried about what are your tattoos going to look like when you're old. It's like, if I can still see them, I'm going to be pretty happy.
It's not going to be any more different than my face getting wrinkles.
Yeah, exactly. Who's going to win a beauty pageant when they're 90? It's just not going to happen. Just enjoy it. But it's going to be a lot more fun to talk to the other 90-year-olds about your tattoo.
Yeah.
Than we don't do that kind of thing. That's no fun.
Yeah, there's a lot of things you should do.
Yeah.
Awesome. So is there like your favorite piece of art out there somewhere? Is there one that sticks out to like, that was kind of my crown jewel?
Well, it's hard. I have a...
Or a collection of...
I have anything, I have a printed portfolio, which is kind of old-fashioned.
Yeah.
But anything in there is stuff that I think that I'm really proud of. And again, I come at it from the same way. If I look at something that I did, I'll remember the person through the art, and I'll be like, that was a really cool gal or guy that I had just a really fun time with. Or we had a cool conversation, or they turned me on to cool music, or and the artwork's always, there are pieces that I kind of put out there as things I'm just like, I would like to do more of that, and
showcase.
That's really, showcase pieces, and you'll see them. I mean, they'll be up somewhere.
Yeah.
So, but it's hard for me to really pinpoint one or even a dozen things after 20 years. It's just like, there's stuff I see stuff come in that I've forgotten about, and I'm just like, oh. And people are like, you remember this? Or they'll say, do you remember me? And I was like, kind of. And then they'll show me the tattoo, and I was like, and then it all comes back, the conversations. And, and I was like, oh, great, how's your grandma? Stuff like that.
Perfect. What is the typical length of time for one session?
I usually, for small pieces, it's hard for... Anything under like 2 hours is kind of like I hardly get my teeth into it. It's done and over, and it's great, and it's positive. But 3 or 4 hours is my prime. It's like my preferred session.
That's your window.
Yeah, and I can work longer. Some people like longer sessions, get things done faster, and that works fine.
Yeah.
But
the sweet spot is at 3 to 4.
For me, after with my back and my eyes and everything, 3 or 4 hours is when I...
You want me to start misspelling stuff? I gotta...
Oh, yeah. That's never good.
Yeah.
That's never excusable.
That's... I can't remember who I was talking to. I was talking to someone that says that's what they do, is it was a writer. And they said, I get up and write every day until I start misspelling words. As soon as I start misspelling words, I know it. Done.
Yeah, it's a good time. Yeah.
Go for a run.
Yeah, we definitely need to stop before that point.
Yeah, I think that's a little important.
Yeah.
No regrets.
Yeah, no, right. That's the thing. There's some funny ones out there though.
There, you mentioned that you're in a private studio, so you're working alone.
Yep.
Prior to that, were you in a shop where there's massive?
Yeah, I've been like I said, I've been tattooing for 23 years now, and I've only been in a private studio for the last 9. So before that, I was at street shops, which are usually first come, first serve, get them in, get them out type of environments, and that really did. That environment is great if you just want to go in and get tattooed, and you still get a chance to connect with cool people and everything. But there's not a lot of conversation involved. It's you gotta stay on task.
Gotcha.
Pretty hard, and I do too when I'm working. But up till the point where I'm working, I like to really get
dive
to know,
in, get to
really
know.
get casual, and not because I'm not a pressure guy. I don't push people. My wife, 10 years, hasn't had a single tattoo.
Yeah.
I don't think it's necessary to be tattooed. If somebody comes in and just wants to talk, if I don't have somebody waiting, that's great. I'm actually a shy person, but if you want to talk about tattooing or about art and how I can help you, then that's where I'm just like, okay, we have something to talk about, and there's nothing to be shy about.
Have you ever mentored anybody?
I have. I've only one successfully.
Yeah.
He worked for me for a couple years, and he was not able to break away from a full-time career. He had to work for a living, and I needed it. After a few years, I kind of needed more, and he just that was the deal going in. Is like, give it a few years and see what you can do. And he decided to put it down. Yeah. And walk away, which is fine.
Yep.
But I still consider that successful because I think he enjoyed the process. And, he found out what it was all about, and he was, he
get to put the toe in the water and check it out.
Yeah.
It's not for everyone, right?
Yeah. But he, and I think it probably, hopefully, helped him because he's an artist already, so helped him gain a little confidence with his art too.
Prior to tattooing, were you always drawing as well?
Yeah. Like I said, I was a kid who walked around my sketchbook all the time. So it was art has always been the only thing that I've had time for in my life.
What are those sketchbooks filled with? What were you? What was your focus in?
At the time was just. I still have a lot of them, and I look through them, and I don't even know what they are. I'm just like, there's stuff in there. I'm just like, what was I thinking? I mean, just whatever. It was all very mental flow, just kind of my journaling type of thing. And just,
gotcha.
And I never got into drugs or anything, but you couldn't tell by looking at that stuff. It's just so weird. Just like, wow, that's crazy stuff, man.
Awesome. Sweet. If you were to run into someone and they were asking for advice of, hey, I'm looking to get into tattooing, what's like the first solid piece of advice you'd give someone new getting into it?
Put the art first, and don't. At this stage in the game, it's such a competitive field. Unless you want to be that guy doing bad tattoos, learn how to do the art before you learn how to do the tattooing.
Yeah. Or
at least up to a certain level, and let whoever you're going to train determine what that level is.
Gotcha.
Because but it's a predatory thing too, and people snatch people up that think they know how to draw, make them work, do an internship for 6 months, 8 months, never teach them a damn thing.
Yeah.
And waste their time.
Yeah.
And then they'll go out and start their own tattoo shop because they think they've done an 8-month internship, so they think they have the right to do that, which is
horrible. Is there any kind of requirements that you have to open a shop?
The state of Washington has some fairly legitimate licensing requirements. I don't know what. I was actually had my shop before they started doing that.
Oh, okay.
I was tattooing in Washington before
Yeah.
they started doing that. But there's bloodborne pathogen training, which is important before you ever touch another person.
Yeah.
And then I think if you don't have a record of being a tattoo artist to open a shop, you have to, you have to have separate license to do tattoos and to own a shop.
Gotcha.
So I'm not sure if you could open a shop
Yeah.
without the artist license. I'm not sure how that works.
Yeah. There's
I haven't been through
probably
that.
something in there.
Yeah, I would assume. But they do inspections and they do the training, and you have to have insurance, and it's, they do a pretty good job for as involved as the state can be
Yeah.
without being overly involved.
Big government.
Yeah. I mean, that's a whole different conversation. But
We can get into that in a later date.
yeah.
So awesome. When shows started coming out, when the reality TV stuff started coming out, how did that kind of affect the business?
Well, I always thought it was great. I never really wanted to watch the shows, but I have seen enough to know they're not as horrible as I was afraid they were. But it really it brought it into people's living rooms and made it really solidified the mainstream movement that was already underway.
Yeah.
But, I mean, it became it just became an everyday thing to where now it is. We're all still waiting for it to slow down, and it hasn't.
Yeah.
It's been incredible. I mean, I got into it. I didn't realize at the time. I thought it would be kind of an easy pickings as far as nobody. There's only a few guys doing this, and they're not all that great, so I can probably dominate, right? And it's like, that's not how it works. But I was at the groundswell of the popularity, and everybody who had every kid who had a sketchbook was getting swept up into the industry, and it's really challenging to stay abreast of and stay viable. I mean, to where you're not on the bottom rungs of the business. But I think television shows had a lot to do with that.
Yeah.
Because kids ask me now about apprenticeships and stuff, and I'm just like, and I think about it, and I was like, that would have never occurred to me. I mean, I had to have somebody beat it into my head that was even a thing, that you could even make a living as a tattoo artist. And now art teachers in high school are like, you should look into it.
Yeah.
Like my guidance counselor would have never have given me that advice. But it's a valid thing now, and it's weird.
Yeah.
But it's cool.
Awesome.
So
Cool. Well, thanks for that kind of introduction.
sure.
I want to thank Latham Realty, the Stilly Diner, 3Os Media, and Magic Shears. You guys, thank you so much for helping me out, get all this stuff set up and my booth set up for these interviews. Make sure you go check out bradfordloomis.com/let's-make-a-record. Help him get his next album out. Enjoy that music that he puts out for us on the beginning of this podcast. He's got lots more and a lot of more cool things happening, and you can be the first to hear it. So go check him out. Thank you guys, and until then, man, we'll see you next week.